To bring us back up. Good morning. I keep wanting to say good morning, America, but it's good morning, Guyana, Canada, worldwide. I love that we're here on here and things are working in our favor today. The weather is absolutely beautiful in my location. There's a bit of thunderstorm activity happening where Kamladevi is. And it is a beautiful day to get together and do this interview, which has been on our agenda to do for probably well over a year, I'm thinking, actually. It's been quite some time. I am here. I'm Sandra Pelley, the Sandini, and this is brought to you today by my book, A Spiritual How-To. You can find it on all of the Amazons. And it is a book that tells you a little bit about my story on how I became who I am now and gives you some very simple, straightforward tools on how you can experience a spiritual journey. The reason I'm here today is to introduce to you Kamladevi Sharma of Revive Intuitive Life Coaching. So hello there. How are you? Tell us a little bit about yourself and go from there.
All right, thanks, Sandra. So, as you mentioned, I'm Kamladevi Sharma. I am a life coach and business consultant specializing in mindset and personal development strategy. I live here in Guyana with my husband and three sons, and I would have co-founded this online business by the name of Revive with my sister in September 2017. Prior to doing life coaching, I was in a management position at education institution right here in Guyana for almost 3 years. And prior to that, I was a lecturer for almost 5 years at the university. So I've been teaching in various capacities for my career.
Very, very fascinating. I love all of that. You have a little bit of a business, as you said, you kind of have been working in this field for some time. Can you tell us a little bit more about your business specifically?
Okay, so Revive is all about life coaching, and there I have a signature program that I really help persons to balance their personal and professional lives and thrive. And this is really about my story. I started the business in September 2017 at a time when I was pregnant with my second son. So I've had 3 pregnancies in the past 4 years. And when I started the business, I was pregnant with my second son. And at that time, like I was doing a lot of personal development and mindset work. And I wanted more ease. I didn't want to be pushing to bring in income for myself and my family. I wanted more ease, I wanted more flow. And I did some research online and I realized that life coaching was actually a career service that you can offer to people. I was like, this is something that I can do because like I'm so intuitive. I have the skills, I have the know-how, I believed in myself, and I knew that I could have made the kind of impact and changes in people's lives because I've always been able to do this with people like since I was in high school. People would just come crowding around me and just telling me their story and asking me for advice, and I would be ready and willing to give them meaningful stuff. So when I started the business, I was really rediscovering myself, rediscovering my passion, and trying to balance the needs and my own desires at that point in my life. Because even I have been knocked off balance quite a few times in like the past 5 years. And mastering life balance has been my entire story from the time I left my full-time job in March 2016. So like having this desire to teach and teach in a different capacity and being able to create changes in people's lives because I knew the kind of work that I was capable of. I said, I'm going to go ahead and start it, and it's going to integrate really nicely in my life because of the busyness with the kids and, having this need for financial independence. Because when I left my job in March 2016, that was actually the first time in 11 years that I have become financially dependent. And honestly, I didn't know how to be that person because I have always been working and studying and blooming in my leadership positions. And to be financially dependent when you're so career oriented is a little bit of a shift to your entire culture, right? To what you're accustomed to. So because I left, I didn't stay financially dependent. I did online proofreading and transcription just to feel, comfortable in my skin, just to reassure myself that, I can still do something in my free time. Because at that time, I was 3 months pregnant with my first son. And I couldn't really take up another job because my health was a little at risk. Because before leaving that job, I I had stopped loving myself, put it that way. I just started to love the job so much. I started to work really long understaffed hours, and it began to take a toll on my health. And after I became pregnant, I had no choice but to leave. So being imbalanced on a full-time job and then having to readjust to a whole new way of being, and then having to manage new responsibilities and having to manage my own like desires and figuring myself out and dealing with my own frustration and emotions, all of that integrated just made Revive what it is today.
That's absolutely beautiful, because you're speaking to the heart of what so many of us are actually feeling or experiencing or shifting in our own lives. And I love this. I love what you're saying, because I can hear my own story in your words. And that's a beautiful thing when you can come on like this and right away people are connecting, right? It shows that you're right, you're in the right ballpark. You're not out in left field at all. And that's what's incredible about this, because here is this MBA graduate that is doing readings, and like that sounds like it's way out in left field, but you've created this new reality. Tell me a little bit, or tell us a little bit about how that all came together, if you don't mind, please.
Well, doing readings was really my way of reassuring myself, of really connecting with my inner coach, really connecting with my higher guidance. Because when I was working, I really had let myself down. Like I used to think and breathe and live for my job. I loved it so much, and success on the job was really important for me. And that really came from a little bit of challenge that I would have faced while growing up. Like competition has always been in my life. I've always been a target for competition. And not only that, like being the target of competition, you know what you want and what you don't want. Like you don't want people to always having these envious feelings with you. You don't want them to always, feeling the need to do anything horrible or to create situations that can pull you down so that they can elevate themselves. So that's something that I had to deal with while I was growing up. And even in the workplace, I found that was something that I constantly had to deal with. And it came a point where I didn't like it anymore. I didn't want to be a target for competition. I didn't want people to feel uneasy in themselves. I didn't want them to see me as a threat. But in one way, it was like a beautiful thing, because like throughout my life, I've always found that I've elevated a little faster. And this is not in a way of comparing myself with anyone or putting anyone else down in my age group or anything, but it's just that I have seen myself elevate a little faster, like in career opportunities, in even getting into my MBA program. Like I was just 23 years old when I started it. And that was totally out of the norm for the university. They were only accepting people who are 30 years old and over, as well as people who had 5 years managerial experience. I didn't fit those two criteria, but I really succeeded in the interview with the directors. So, having these kind of opportunities, like I really did wonder at some point in my life if, is it a gift that I can advance at such a speed, or is it really like, like a nightmare because of the kind of relationships that, I was then attracting because of it. But then I grew out of it and I just started to do me. And what I found that when I started to do me, I just got everything that I wanted to get done. And I accomplished so much in a very short space of time. But having career success was really a story that I was told. Like in high school, they tell you, you know, you work hard, you get qualified, you go get a good job, you make a lot of money. I did that for 11 years, and I just loved my job so much that I stopped loving myself. And then it started taking a toll on who I really was. And when I left, when I had no choice but to leave my full-time job when I was 3 months pregnant, I really had that time and space to start rediscovering me. And when I started to create that personal development strategy and do the mindset work, I realized that, you know, it's really important to keep that connection with your higher self. It's really important to connect to your inner coach. And I've always grew up saying that, you know, there's a pair of invisible hands that are always at work in my life. And the more I grew, it's more I've seen like the power of these hands. Because I mean, I've been landing opportunities that no one has ever really landed. And having that in itself really motivated me. But it didn't stop me from feeling, what exactly is this and why is this what it is? Because, you know, it's creating all of these negative vibes with these people now. So I had to do a whole assessment of me and the relationships that I had. So even though I was super successful in my career, and I studied various areas too, because in my bachelor's, I have a bachelor's in social psychology along with business. And even that was an opportunity that I was just granted, like without even asking for it. So even though I have career success on my belt, I knew that I needed to really stay connected to my inner guidance because of the kind of relationships that were then manifesting. And I didn't want, and it never felt right for me to go on hurting anyone like around me just as I have been that target for competition. Like that didn't feel like in my field. And karma in general is something that I have always like had at the forefront of my mind. I'm not going to do anything bad because I don't want anything bad manifesting. Like I just want to have a clean slate. I want to get it all done in this lifetime. I don't want to come back. So, you know, like having these different beliefs and having them work at you subconsciously, you really realize that career and the school system, they do play a role in your life, but you also need, as a human being, you have a very deep spiritual side. And the more you connect to your spiritual side, the more you connect to this inner coach that you have, it's the more that you will thrive, it's the more support that you will have. Because as you grow, you will bump into people and situations that are not going to support you for some reason or the other. I mean, for me, I was a target of competition, so I didn't really generate much support, like in among my coworkers when they heard that I was doing my MBA, and I was just in a like when I was teaching, I was teaching under a head of department who was also doing her MBA. You know, so like when you're in those kind of situations, and you know that you're attracting this kind of vibe, even though you're actively trying not to, and you're just being you, you're just being this loving, gentle, humble you, but you're still attracting it. It really makes you think, you know, I need a little bit more support. That's how I really started to believe in this power that's outside of me, that's working in my life. And that's why I started to do readings, to really feel the connection.
Wow. I want to say first off that one of the things that I notice both you and I do is a lot of this with our hands, and I love that, because what's coming through immediately, the guidance that's coming through with that immediately is. I'm going to take a back step first before I say what that guidance is I too have recognized my own speed in my journey, you know, and my journey has been quite a bit different from your own. However, my spiritual journey has been, in my mind, extremely rapid. And I think it does have a lot to do with what we're doing with our hands and what we're stepping into, because you're doing this. It's like I can honestly, I can feel the energy moving, getting placed, getting pushed, getting prodded, getting pulled, and it's you are actively stepping into all of those energies and really moving them, and you can feel that. I can feel the breath that you're taking there with that, even, you know, and the readings that you do, like I've popped onto your lives, and you know, it's like the other day she had this beautiful live going on her page, and she knew people were there because you can see that there's people there, but nobody was saying anything. And it was like she was Cam, you were telling this incredible beautiful story about your last child that you had. How old is he now? 2, 3?
He's gonna be a year,
A year.
seven.
He's just a year old.
Yeah.
And you were telling this beautiful story of that, and personally I was very enthralled. I truly, as soon as somebody writes something on a Facebook Live, you automatically go to there and you look and you get disrupted. So that's why we weren't talking to you, because we were very involved in your story. And that's what Cam brings to people, these true life feelings, these true life experiences. And that's what really helps her as a coach. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Well, my coaching is a part of a signature momentum program. So it's 12 weeks of one-on-one interaction with me. And in these 12 weeks, I help persons to get super clear on who they are and the goals that they want to set and achieve in their personal and their professional lives. I help them to align with these goals and as well as tap into the results of them. So there are three main workbooks that we go through. There is full-time access to me. We do soul readings upon request. We have the Revive and Thrive meditation series, which is an incredible 6 days of transformation, of healing, transformation, and co-creation. And this was really channeled in December of 2019 when I was letting go of all of my frustration and anger and sadness that I would have generated over the past 4 years of wanting to move into my home, not being in a job, having to deal with three pregnancies. The last two were pretty traumatic in a way. There's lots of drama in there too. So, like there is so much that we can go through on a personal level. And in in all of it, there is a personal development strategy that the clients are able to work with in order for them to maintain balance in their lives. Because the overall aim is to achieve balance and thrive. So we do a lot of one-on-one interactions to really get super clear on what's happening, and so that they too can implement them. Simple, totally simple, easy to implement tools that you can have in your life every day. Nothing tedious, nothing elaborate, basic mindset and shifting the energy altogether to remain focused on your goals. So in these 12 weeks, we do a whole heap of healing, transformation, co-creation for clarity, alignment, and results.
Wow. When I think about how long we've known each other, and it's definitely a lot longer than a year,
Yeah.
and I see where you've come from and how you've totally shifted focus in one hand, and yet have still got that same focus, but have brought it to a larger group of people, yet a smaller group of people. And I know that sounds really confusing, but what you've done is I've watched you go from being wanting to be very supportive for other people, and you've supported me in so many ways, and now I'm seeing how you're bringing that support down into a very specific way and develop these beautiful programs. How did that development go? Are you still working with your sister, or is this primarily your baby now? And it just absolutely fascinates me, because I can see how these steps that you're doing are steps that I have done myself with my own programs. So tell us a bit about that.
Okay, so Shini is still on board. So Shini mostly does the readings and like the Reiki sessions. She does the chakra work. So we offer healing, coaching, which is the coaching is basically my babies. So I do interview coaching, the job coaching, the conflict resolution coaching, the single sessions, exam success coaching. I do all of the coaching sessions. But the main one-on-one interaction with me for the longest period of time, 12 weeks, and you get full-time access to me, it's my baby. And the momentum training really came at a time when I was learning how to rework my momentum. So I've had mindset issues when I left my full-time job, and I was focused on the lack of I didn't even know about gratitude. I didn't know about creating a gratitude rampage, right? Because like when you're growing up, like you're so programmed so much by the
Mhm.
environment, right? and you're giving these goals. Like I was given the goal to get an MBA. I was given the goal to finish your undergrad. I was given the goal to get a good job. I mean, they were all part of me too. Like I wanted these things for myself. I wanted a good job. I wanted something that I loved doing. I wanted to make a lot of money so that I can be financially independent, right? I wanted these things for myself, but there were seeds planted in my mind. So I didn't really know much about having a gratitude rampage and being able to express gratitude. So when I left this full-time job and I had all this time for myself, and I was now ready to focus on my home, finishing the home before having this kid and everything, um, I was so focused on the lack of money and not having enough to finish the home and to get everything else done that I started to connect with a spiritual coach. And I was obsessed on winning the lottery because I believed, and I still believe this, I believe that a financial struggle is not in my books. Like, I don't deserve a financial struggle. My purpose is way beyond this, right? So I believe that, and I always wanted like this lump sum of money to just plug into the home and get it done, get it over and done with, like so that I keep on moving, so that I can keep on doing other things. But then the momentum around the lack of it and it not happening when I wanted it to happen just blew out of proportion, and I didn't even know when that was happening. Like the frustration and the anger and all of the emotions around it just created such a huge momentum around this issue that when I started to really work on my mindset and I realized what I was doing, I was like, wow, this is not only my problem. Many people are going through such challenges. And I need to bring this out there. I need to be able to share it. Because just as how I was able to rework my momentum, I can now share this with so many people. So, momentum training was really, the name was channeled to me, and it was at the time when I was really reworking my mindset, shifting from the lack of money and the lack of things around me to having more gratitude and be able to expand myself in what is actually working in my life and just take the focus away of what wasn't working altogether.
Beautiful. Yeah, I'm just, I'm in awe. I truly am in awe because all the things that you're saying, it feels very much as though this is a lesson just in itself, right?
Mm.
That, the words that you're using, like I love that competitive targeting and these different words, the different verbiage that you're using, very, very profound, very deep verbiage. As well too, it's that recognition of the little things that are happening. I know that we're talking about the divine guidance on one hand, and same here. My program or my title, what have you, it was channeled as well, and it's understanding these little bits and pieces that happen to us. I wanted to just kind of swing back to that MBA part again, and not specifically with regards to you. However, there are so many people in so many different walks of life who are struggling. Now, you have like your background is so entirely different from mine. I did a little bit of college. I didn't step into university. I don't have this incredible certificate or degree or diploma in with regards to that. I've walked a totally different life. You've walked a very specific life in the university sector, plus stepping into what was entailed after that. Would you say that you have a pretty good idea on what people who have experienced the same things as you have with regards to going to those universities, getting those high paying, upper echelon type of jobs? Is this a really good place for them to come to see you because of your background in that, because of your experiences going through that I won't say that program because you've developed the program, but I guess in essence, it's the program, right? Whatever you want to call it. I'm not sure if I like the word program now that I'm hearing the word program, because it sounds very,
You're programming people.
yeah, exactly. Yikes.
Good one.
Anyway, if you'd like to address kind of who would you gear coming through that?
Okay, so persons in management, persons who are in the office, who are aiming to move up the hierarchy at work, who are really focused on their career, but they're also struggling in their personal life. So their career has consumed their personal life. So they kind of just don't have any personal life. They don't have any time for their health, any time for their family and friends or their spouse, or they don't have a balance in like their finances or in their physical environment. You know, people who are really focused on their career, but they're neglecting the personal growth and the personal aspect of them. Those are the people who I really work with. When it comes to the school system, I believe in the school system a whole heap because it really gives persons ideas. Like it really exposes you to so many different areas um, and so many different things that can interest you and really awaken what you are truly interested in. So I love the school system. Like I followed the path of business throughout my life, but prior to doing that and making that decision, I wanted to get into to the skies. Like I wanted to be an astronaut. I wanted to travel and know what's happening up there in space. And now I do it, but I do it not physically. I do it at a completely different level. And but business is has really fed me with um, a lot of information. It has also shown me how fake the world is. And if I didn't have that experience in business, I wouldn't really be able to differentiate how fake the world is and how we're all or how many people are deluded in the working environment because then we get so caught up on these different goals that are not uplifting everyone else. I mean, we go to church on Sundays and we hear pray for your brother and sister and love your brother and sister and uplift each other. And then when we go into the working environment, what she do on the weekend, or what she wear at the weekend, you know, all these kind of gossiping. And it's crazy how we shift who we are when we're not in a particular environment and who, you know, who we become in a different environment. It's really crazy how we shift our images. And that's not something that really appealed to me. Like that's not authentic. And for me, we need to be authentic. We need to be able to really own our voice, to express ourselves. And there was a time when I couldn't do it too. I mean, when I was in the office and I was dealing with all my different challenges, I didn't allow them to get in my way of success and being focused on what I wanted to achieve, the kind of impression I wanted to leave on people. But at the same time, it really shows you where people are in their growth. And a part of my MBA project, I did look at why is it that program goals are not being achieved at the level in which the institution expects students to achieve them. Because sometimes when you leave school, you remember nothing that you studied, and that shows that there's a huge gap in what we're learning and our ability to apply it. So because like being aware of this level of information that there are lots of persons out there who are in the working environment but they're not very grounded in their values. They don't even know what their values are. They don't even know what their personal principles are. So they just go about living and bumping into experiences and keep on bumping into the same experiences without really understanding the lesson in these experiences. This is who I can help. These are persons that I can help so that I can help you to break free from them so that you can learn the lesson and you can keep on elevating. Because that's what you want to be doing ideally. That's what you want to aim for. You want to be able to grab the lesson from the situation so that you can maintain your balance and you just want to keep on growing, right? So the working environment to me is like the perfect place to learn about yourself. The school system is a perfect place to really awaken you to the things that you truly feel interested in. Because you know, it was only when I was doing my MBA that I had connected to the subject managerial and professional development. And everything that I'm teaching now relates directly to that course because when I go back to the course books, it's like, this is so interesting that in this book they're telling you to do morning pages. And like, wow, you know, you got to do an MBA course to really figure it out. Like, oh, so, you know, personal development is a part of it. Professional development is a part of it. And to get professional development, you need to develop yourself personally. So The school system is great for that, to get you exposed to the various subjects. And the working environment is great to teach you about the challenges in life so that you can learn about yourself and you can keep on growing. But ideally, you really need to be grounded in your spiritual self so that you can have that mindset, you can have that support as you deal with all these challenges when you're getting knocked off balance.
I love that. uh, it's so interesting how you brought that right around to the next question that I wanted to ask, because I know that for myself, the people are coming into my programs at very different levels. I'm guessing that the same thing is happening with you as well, that there are people coming in at different levels. So for those that are less spiritual based, does it still feel comfortable for them to be in your program?
Yes, it is because my program is not focused on your spiritual growth. My program is focused on having balance in your life, having personal and professional balance. And there's a huge distinction between religion and spirituality. And I want to make that clear too, because I embrace all religions. But I also embrace my spiritual self. My spiritual self is basically just me connecting, quieting myself from the busy energy that's around me and connecting to my inner self. And it's simple as that. There's nothing hocus pocus. There's no voodoo. There's absolutely nothing threatening in that process.
Right,
Now,
right.
if there's someone who's working with me who does not want or who's not ready to connect with their spiritual self, that is perfectly fine. However, what I would advise them to do is visualize. And it's just as much as if you're meditating on a vision. You just need to understand the language and you need to understand the process involved. It's really nothing different from what we're doing every day, because when you sit or when you lay in your bed at night and you get this vision in your mind, that's you visualizing something. And if you choose to tap into it and go with it and feel good about it, that's you meditating on that vision. It's really nothing foreign. We're doing it all the time. We're just going to be doing it in a more controlled manner and with more deliberation so that you know for sure or with the certainty that whatever you're doing, it's leading to this next best thing in your life. So I can work with people who are not, who don't want to do readings, for example, because that's totally optional. I can work with people who are not very spiritual because spirituality is not anything foreign. You're a spiritual being having a human experience. And the only thing that would keep us separated and would not work, or we will not be fit to work with each other, is if someone believes that they're not spiritual in any way. And like they have a lot of resistance to visualizing and trying to calm their energy, trying to work with their emotions in a meditative state and those kind of things. Because I can't work and create a change with anyone if they're not willing to tap into their inner world.
That's so very important. And I love how you brought it back down so that everybody feels comfortable stepping into your program, that there's no preconceived ideas of them, what they need to feel like going in. And that opens it up pretty wide open. Um, so I know you had kind of, uh, you made a very lengthy description around my question about people who were in the higher echelons stepping into your program. Is it good for just about anybody? Truly, I know that we had kind of gone with the MBA graduate part of it, but people. I'm not sure if I want to use a phrase off the street, but people like myself, like I'm not a graduate, but is it a good program for myself to step into?
For you, yes. If there, for example, if there's an adult who doesn't have a career background, but who wants to achieve balance in their life, like you're an entrepreneur, you have a business and you have plans on growing your business, someone like that I can work with, because life balance is you managing yourself and and that's the art of it, being able to manage your thoughts, being able to manage your emotions as you deal with the challenges in life, right? So entrepreneurs, I can work with them definitely because it's really about them managing themselves and managing the new business or the business that they're in. Like one of the things that I've been criticized for is not being in the office and doing this kind of work, not being able to show that I can master myself in the office, master my personal life, and still do this work. And I found that criticism very interesting, and I really had a good laugh about it. But because, like, my inner coach, my inner guidance said to me, this is a perfect place for you to be in, because you came from that environment and you have evolved to such an extent where you're now managing yourself. I'm managing 3 kids under 5 years old. I'm managing a home. I'm managing a business. I'm in a management position. I'm just not in a management position in the office. I'm not in 4 walls. I'm not doing it 9 to 5, but I'm doing it all day, every day. I'm not even doing it from Monday to Friday. I'm doing it all day, every day, right? So, I mean, it's so interesting how persons would look at it and say that, you're not working, you're not in the working environment to be able to do that. So how do you know to tell people how to manage themselves? And I just laugh at it because it is nothing foreign. Honestly, it is nothing foreign. It is no hocus pocus. It is so straightforward. Manage yourself. Get, be the master of yourself. Manage your thoughts, manage your emotions. It doesn't even matter what challenges you're facing. You just manage yourself, and you will be able to tame the energy to manage everything else around you, whether it's in the office, whether it's that new business idea, whether it's that program you're launching, whether it's a divorce you're witnessing, whatever it is you're dealing with. As long as you manage yourself, you can manage anything around you. As long as you strike that balance, you can balance anything that's around you. So entrepreneurs can definitely work with me.
Again, I keep saying I love this. I love this. What's beautiful is that I too do my business 7 days a week. I'm not necessarily 9 to 5, just like yourself. The thing is that you, I believe, are as passionate about what you do as I am, and it isn't work when you're an entrepreneur in this field. It is more that you're bringing all this beauty into your life because you're supporting others, but you're also supporting yourself, and that is a huge place to be in.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that, because here you are, a woman who has, as you said, been an MBA graduate and has built her own home with her husband, has raised 3 small children. They're not raised yet. The one is literally only a year old, and the oldest, I believe, is 5. You said, I think, right?
He's 4 years old.
4. So all very young children, and yet you're prospering with this beautiful career move that you've made, and I love that. I love that you have given so many women out there hope. My hands are on fire talking about this. Yeah, giving women out there hope that they don't have to do the career that they've been led to believe they should be doing from the very get-go. This goes for men too. I mean, men are taught to be breadwinners, right? My own husband is shifting in his energies right now, and truly starting to understand that maybe it's okay if I'm the breadwinner, right? In whatever manner that unfolds like. And that's really important too. How does the home life looking for you now, with you starting your own career at an in-home field with the husband doing what he does? How does that work?
Well, it's like any other thing. It's just like if I have a job in the office, like we don't like it doesn't affect us in any way. Like my husband is very supportive of the work that I'm doing, and he really encourages me, and because he's there to support me, like energetically and emotionally, I'm able to bloom. I'm able to get what I need to get done without having that fear or guilt. I mean, I didn't always empower myself in this manner. Like just after Kush was born, my little son, the last one, I used to feel a little bit of guilt wanting to do some work on my phone while I could have been washing the bottles or doing the dishes. So it did require me to do a little bit more mindset work and just step into my shoes and recognize the different roles that I'm playing, and also set those personal boundaries for myself of how much I want to give those roles attention. Because at the end of the day, there are roles, and I too, as an individual, deserve my personal time and space. I deserve to feel comfortable without the kids and having to do household chores and adjust to home life to that extent. And this is something that I really empower the women in particular that work with me, that, you got to get comfortable in your roles, and you also need to create boundaries in each of them so that you know what you're going to allow and what you're not going to allow. And on top of that, you need to be able to communicate it freely and in a way that doesn't hurt those who will be affected by it. They must be able to recognize it from a place of compassion, from that place of need, not from a place of proof point, because that in itself would create conflict. And you don't want to be in a position in your life where you're just interacting with people and you're not getting the support in your home because you're giving off all of this conflicting energy and all of this proof point. You're taking this proof point stance. So like recognizing these things, I can definitely apply them to myself and balance myself. And I've been able to communicate really well with my husband about it. Like, what is it that I want? When I need rest, I need rest, and recognize that I need rest. And he's been totally supportive for me in that regard. So I don't find that kind of conflict or that responsibility at home conflicting with my business or my coaching calls or anything of that sort. There's always a solution there, and I can communicate it freely.
Beautiful.
Mm.
There are so many points, and I'm just going to kind of highlight a few of them right now. First of all, here you are. I'm speaking with Kamladevi about her Revive Intuitive Life Coaching. And she is an MBA graduate who truly was discovering that her mind was so focused on her career that she had lost balance in a lot of other portions of her life. And she's truly switched gears midstream. And in that shift, truly built a house with her husband, had 3 young children, the oldest being 4, the youngest being 1. He'll be 1 actually on August 7th. And there's so many things that you have brought to us today, the mindset, the verbiage, the balance in one's life, the control, boundaries, all of these different aspects are so empowering. And you bring it to us as well in a program. And the name, if you want to give us a little bit of contact information, the name of the program again, unfold again, just real quickly, how many weeks it is. And if there's an intake call that you do, like if you offer a 30-minute call or something, if somebody's interested on this, or what do you do in this case?
Okay, so if someone's interested in the program, I'd first advise them to do the free assessment that I offer on balancing their life, assessing the current balance that they have in their life, and knowing which area really feels imbalanced right now. So they can get that at the website, https://revive.coach/wheel of life. Or as soon as you jump on the site, there will be a pop-up there. There's many call to actions that can lead you to that free assessment just on the homepage of the site. And
Can you just hang on? Could you say that a lot slower? So you don't really need to go to http:// just say the what it's called there again, please.
revive.coach/wheel of life.
Wheel of life. Wonderful.
Yeah, wheel of life. So that's a free
Thank you.
assessment that persons can use to really look at the different areas in their life and where they may be knocked off balance or where may be lagging behind. And from there, um, they are led to my momentum training page. And that page gives you all of the details of the program. It's 12 weeks. We do PDFs, we do the coaching calls, we do the workbooks, we do lots of visualization techniques in there. And it's really, you get full-time access to me for that 12 weeks too. So you can get that information at revive.coach/momentum -now. And if you go on the services tab of the page, you will see the learn more button about the momentum training. So that's how you can get the information on the program. Or they can email me at info@revive.coach. And if you check the website too, there is the Instagram page and the Facebook page that you can always message me on, or just connect with me on directly on Facebook Messenger. I'm there.
Beautiful. I love that. Thank you. That was very very informative doing it that way. One other question that I realized that has been missed is this one-on-one work or is this group work?
This is one-on-one.
Okay.
This is the momentum training is one-on-one. I have a group coaching program that I have in mind, but I haven't spent much time on it to create a strategy and all of that. But right now it's one-on-one work. But if there's anyone who wants support, I'm also actively working in a free group that's called Revive and Thrive in the Corporate World. So anyone
Beautiful.
can jump in that program, that group, and if you have questions, if you need some guidance, I'll be able to support you in that way.
Okay, wonderful. Well, I think we've done a beautiful job here. I'm really blessed to be part of your tribe, to be catching your Revive intuitive coaching Facebook lives have just been wonderful. I really enjoy them. And I enjoy you. Your energy is absolutely magical. And I love what you're bringing to people of a whole different um, um, financial aspect on one hand compared to myself. And I love that because that people are out there of all needs. And that's really important for each of us to recognize, is that it really doesn't matter where we are in our journey, that there's somebody out there for every one of us. Okay. And stepping into that. And here I am bringing you Kamladevi, so that you know that if you're in that type of field that has to do with going to universities and having these incredible high paying jobs, that there's someone out there that's specifically geared towards your mindset and helping you to shift that mindset into something that brings a lot more balance into your life, as well as other people. I'm by no means you limit your program to people like that. You're there for everybody, but at least now you've offered an olive leaf or an olive branch for those who are looking,
Yeah,
because there are those out there. I know of some myself. So thank you so much for being here.
no problem. And Sandra, there's one thing that I want to add. While I was shifting my mindset, your book, A Spiritual How To, was an incredible gift during that time. So I would recommend your book to anybody because it's totally beautiful and it was really helpful in helping me to grow and to learn how to really connect to my inner self and to really thrive because of the insights that you would have shared in your book. So thank
Wow.
you too for that.
Thank you so much. And it is sponsoring this call today. So
Right?
it's available on all the Amazon. So she's given you some great information. Revive.coach/Wheel of Life is where you will connect with Kamladevi and do the questionnaire for her, and it leads you into things from there. Any last words that you would like to say?
I just want to say that if you're out there and you're struggling with striking a balance in your life, you're not feeling that personal fulfillment and satisfaction in who you are as an individual, then I'm here to help you because I know what it's feel like. I've come from that. I've been challenged. I've been thrown off balance in many ways at many times. I've had to deal with some of the worst emotions and some of the unhealthy programming that society gives to us. And I know what it feels like to have to rework our momentum, to have this mindset for success and try. So if you're someone who is really battling with your emotions and you're struggling to maintain this personal fulfillment as you strive towards career success, then connect with me so that I can help you to strike that balance and you can really feel fulfilled and achieve that success altogether.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here, Cam. I really appreciate you taking the time and the space to come and share so beautifully and so eloquently of yourself. Thank you.
Thank you too. Thank you too, Sandra.
Okay. Everyone, if you know where to find her and how to find me, so take care and have a wonderful day. Thanks, Cam.